Am I the asshole for not wanting to pay the web designer for his services? I'm going to go with yes, but let's find out. Now I'm going to do something different here. If you haven't heard of the Am I the Asshole thread in Reddit, it is amazing. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at this because there are so many interesting questions, topics, and debate. Typically, these are for really random real life problems, but we're actually going to relate this to web design. There are so many questions in there about web design, which we're going to take a look at and react and just get my expert opinion on them, maybe? Let's go. So am I the asshole for not wanting to pay a web designer for his service? So I have a business and I hired, by word of mouth, a web designer. Okay. Last time my site got updated was 2007. Now to give you some context, this thread is 3 years old. Okay, so that would be 2020. Right, so his website is godly old. Okay, so the last time my site got updated was 2007, so a real change was needed ASAP. Ended up hiring the photographer who took photos for our website. He said he does web design as well, so I said, why the hell not? So because he has worked for our business for over 13 years, clicking photos, he agreed to not take any payment up front. Okay, so you know this person, and they've said that they will work without any upfront payment. Now, to be honest, I've done this myself. Okay, I'd say if it was a friend, I have not taken upfront payment before. If it's a long-standing relationship between myself and a business, okay, I wouldn't recommend never taking payment upfront. But God, let's just see how this unfolds. My requirement for him was to prettify my website. Prettify? What does that even mean? Like, make it sleek, sexy, new, and install a CMS for me so that I could later edit things on my own. When I asked for his service, he stated that it would take him 12 days. 12 days? That's a pretty quick turnaround. In the end, it took him 17 days to send me a demo. Guys, as a web designer, don't give a date and then surpass that date, okay? Set the expectations higher and then over deliver, okay? So come in early. Rookie mistake. Upon viewing his demo, I said, WTF, what the fuck? That's brutal. Imagine someone's, so far this guy's sounding like the asshole. Imagine, as a web designer, your client saying, what the fuck? Oof. Well, that's painful. Oh, it gets worse. So upon viewing his demo, I said, what the fuck, this is shit. Thank God I did not pay in advance, as he requested earlier. Instead, I had made an agreement to pay at the end. Wait, so you're not paying? I called him up, told him this site is below average and not at all what I was expecting. First draft or not, I don't give a shit. Oh, easy. I told him that we're not going to move forward with the design or service any further. Wow, so he just cut in ties there and then. That's brutal. So he was super disappointed by this. But from what I can see so far, where's the brief? I'd love to know how this conversation went between these two people. He then tries to counter with, yeah, you can't do that now. We took so much time and effort to build it. He outsourced the web design off to a freelancer elsewhere. Sneaky, slimy middleman. Does he know that? Maybe he knows that, or he's making an assumption. I don't know. Maybe he might have paid in advance to the freelancer to get the job done. If he has outsourced this and he's had to pay the designer, then yeah, he's going to be at a loss. I would never take on a project and not have payment if I was outsourcing it. I'm not saying that outsourcing is wrong. Outsourcing it, I think, today is absolutely fine. I outsource parts of my business, so I don't think that there's a problem with that. But this guy obviously has beef with it. So, question being, am I the asshole for not paying this slimy middleman even just a little bit, considering that he might have paid someone a deposit for their service? Ooh. So this guy's sounding like the asshole so far, but let's see what the comments say. Like, in my opinion so far, he's definitely sounding like the asshole, not paying the designer for the work that he has done. Even if he's not happy with it, it doesn't seem to be an opportunity here for him to figure out what he doesn't like and then work with the designer to get it to a place where he's happy with it. This guy an asshole. At the moment, I feel like he's being a bit of an asshole. Something is telling me you're not saying the full story here. Quite possibly. I feel like maybe he's sharing his own biased opinion. This is tricky. I really want to say not the asshole, but did you request to see any work he'd previously done on other websites, or did you truly hire him blindly? If you hired him blindly, that's your fault for not checking as someone who's done consistent work in a completely different field, in my opinion. Fair point. Okay, so this guy, he worked with him as a photographer. He's just assumed at this point that he could make websites. But then we did get the update to say that he sent him the portfolio. So, yeah, I mean, that's still a fair point, but it looks like he did see this person's work. How do you know he outsourced it? Exactly my point. How does he know he outsourced it unless he actually told him that he outsourced it? Not the asshole, but communication and expectation setting was poor on both sides. Agree, absolutely, okay? The communication and expectation setting was poor. Your expectations may not have been aligned with reality, which you could have then remedied by requesting some portfolio examples prior to contracting the work. And working sans contract deposit was a bad choice. What does that mean? Working sans contract was a bad choice by the developer. Agree, okay? The developer shouldn't be working without a contract or a deposit, okay? For this reason, okay? If a client is not happy with your site and you've received no money, they've got no skin in the game, okay? They're not invested. So why would they pay you? You are at a huge disadvantage and huge risk if you don't have a contract or take a deposit for your work. A lot of people on Reddit are suggesting that this guy's not the asshole. And I think this is really interesting. I think the way that he's handled it means he's come across as a bit of an asshole, in my opinion. Okay, perfectly valid to not be happy with what he was potentially delivered, but there was no expectation setting and there was no solid brief from what I can see from this. And that was really fun. Let's do another one. Am I the asshole for not building a free website for my father-in-law after offering to do so? So I do web design and development and have my own small agency of 6 full-time employees. When I first started this 4 years ago, I was a freelancer and didn't have a formal LLC or anything like that. So this LLC is based in America. So I offered to build a website at absolutely no cost for my father-in-law's company, as he runs a very successful local business and didn't have a website. My brother-in-law, who helps run the business, convinced my Phil? I'm gonna have to Google what that means. Father-in-law, duh. Okay, so my brother-in-law, who helps run the business, convinced my father-in-law that they should hire a real professional, to build their website. So they ended up hiring a digital marketing agency for the job. Ouch. So you have your own business with 6 full-time employees and they didn't consider your business when hiring a real professional. Damn, that stings. That stings. So they ended up hiring a digital marketing agency for the job. I don't like to bash on people's work, but the agency my father-in-law and brother-in-law hired did a shoddy job. Are you bashing because your ego was dented? Let's have a look. The website is so poorly designed, it isn't even optimized for mobile devices. Fair. Okay. I told them if they changed their minds, my offer still stood. That was 4 years ago. So that's the backstory. Okay, fast forward to the present, and I formed my own agency. Not to toot my own horn, but we are quite successful and have filled our entire 2020 calendar. We are currently not taking on any new projects, although exceptions can be made. My wife and I were at her parents' for Christmas this year, and my father-in-law and brother-in-law chose that day to approach me about the free website I had offered to build 4 years ago. Hi, is it still free? Right, honestly, I'd forgotten about the whole thing and I really don't feel like the offer is valid after 4 years. I agree, no. I didn't want to cause any drama on Christmas, so I told them we could talk about it more later, and great save. Once my wife and I got home, I told her about the conversation I had with her father and brother. She asked if I was going to build the website, and I told her that I would, but not for free. I'd made that offer when I was still freelancing and just wanted to get my name and work out there. They chose to go with an agency over me, and my wife is absolutely furious right now. She thinks I need to honor the offer I made, even though it was 4 years ago. Whoa, he offered to build a free website for his father-in-law, and they said that they would go with a professional without considering or seeing him as a professional because he was just freelancing and not having his own agency. Now he's got his own agency. They want that free website, so they don't want to cash in on that free website. So I didn't think this, from what I can see so far, this guy is absolutely not the asshole. Maybe you can do them a little bit of a discount. I certainly wouldn't do it for free. I mean, especially if you've got overheads and you've got team members and bills to pay. When he made the offer, he didn't have any staff though, so he could just make whatever smaller and less complex site he likely would have made at that point in his own time, with only himself working on it. That's honoring his original offer and not making his staff spend time on it since when he made the original offer, he was offering. So you're saying that he should honor the offer but build the site in his own time. I mean, why? Why should he? I mean, this is going to be 4 years later as well. Technology's changed, expectations would have changed, and maybe the quality of work has changed as well. So why should he put out mediocre work or waste his time or spend his time doing that? That's my opinion. I definitely think that he should be paid, but if it's family, you could give them a discounted incentive perhaps, but just still make sure that you're covering costs and enjoying the work. Oh, the arsehole, they refused to offer at first and pay someone else to do a worse job than you would have. That right there is beyond insulting, not to mention it was so long ago. Agreed, completely agree. Not the arsehole, it feels like they're just taking advantage of you to do it for free. Agreed, you are not required to do so and you're a lot more busy than you were back then by the sounds of it. Agreed. Okay, so his calendar for 2020 was full, so 100% like he would have to be shoehorning this in. And again, where's the incentive? As a business owner myself, if we had to move projects around to fit something in, like we would actually be putting a premium on that price. We certainly wouldn't be doing it for free. Not the arsehole, they were willing to pay professional rather than use your services for free when you were struggling to establish yourself as an up and coming business. Yeah, exactly, man. Like, they're family, they should have given you the handout back then. Now they want a handout and they want something for free. No, man. Tell them the offer was only valid when you're independent and is not carried over into your incorporation model. The offer has expired as you now have employees, paying customers scheduled with contracted completion dates and overhead to cover. Yep. But that you would be happy to offer them the 10% family discount if they can wait until your next open booking in December. Exactly. Okay, that's what I was saying. Offer them a discount. Okay, could be 10%, could be slightly higher to incentivize them or make them feel like they're getting something out of you, but you are not giving your time away for free. Oh man, this is a hard one. I'm going to go with not the arsehole, but I would do it at a really reduced rate, or do it free if you want an easy life. But do the absolute basics. This is the thing with family, like family become so messy, especially brother-in-laws and father-in-laws when it's your partner's family. There's a lot of pressure. So I think the general consensus here from Reddit is that this guy is not the arsehole. 100% agree, you are not the arsehole here. So that was fun. If you want more of these, then please do give it a like. I'm definitely enjoyed doing this video. So if you want to see more Am I the Arsehole questions, give this video a like and we'll do some more maybe next week. But yeah, go check out the other content. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'd really appreciate that. There's an end screen coming up with more interesting content that I have on my channel for you to go check out. But thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.